In the last episode, I've built my most complex engine so far. An inline-2 250cc 4-stroke engine with more than 130 individual components. But there was one comment on that video that caught my eye.
Daddy make a 2-stroke Yamaha Banshee engine and exhaust.
Y'all know how much I love a comment section challenge, but first we need to understand exactly what the legendary Yamaha Banshee engine is. Back in the late 80s, Yamaha built a machine that would go on to define a whole generation of sports ATVs.
Yamaha has built the ultimate speed machine, Banshee.
Powered by a 350cc inline-2 2-stroke engine, this thing was a beast.
The biggest, baddest liquid-cooled two-stroke that four-wheeling has ever seen.
Some of us gotta work for a living.
Okay, enough 80s Yamaha commercials for today. Let's jump into Fusion and let me show you what I came up with. This is the 2-stroke inline-2 engine I designed from scratch, heavily inspired by the Banshee engine. So starting with the crankcase, let's start printing all the components. We are running a split-style modular crankcase printed out of Elegus PLA+. We have two slots for the AM6 reed valves that's gonna ensure a proper and clean fuel intake. For the next part of the crankcase, I turned on the CNC milling machine, slapped a piece of aluminum inside of it, and I let it do its thing for the next 20 minutes. And this is what I ended up with. These aluminum pieces are gonna serve the purpose of supporting the cylinder sleeves. The only part left is to install the crankshaft. This crankshaft was CNC milled and heat treated by PCBWay, and it performed amazing so far. If you've been watching my engine projects, you know not everything can be 3D printed. And that's where PCBWay always had my back. From CNC machining, sheet metal fabrication, 3D printing, injection molding and PCB making, PCBWay has been my go-to manufacturer. Right now, PCBWay is celebrating their 12th anniversary with discounts on a wide range of manufacturing services, fun community events and special offers, including free upgrades on selected PCB solder mask colors and discounts up to 50% on the 3D printing services. So if you are building your own engineering projects, it's definitely worth checking out. I'm gonna add a link in the video description. Once again, a big thank you to PCBWay for sponsoring this video. Back to our project, the next step is gonna be making the cylinder sleeves. They are gonna be made out of this stainless steel pipe, cut to length using a pipe cutting tool that's gonna leave a flat surface and no burrs. After that, each port is gonna be drilled using a stepped drill bit. And these are the two cylinder sleeves I ended up with. Next step was printing the cylinder body out of Elegus ASA. And the last part was to actually put all the components of the cylinders together. Here you can actually see the transfer ports. This is the path that the fuel mixture is gonna take to go from the crankcase inside the combustion chamber. Also, on the top part of the cylinder body, we have a section printed out of carbon fiber reinforced nylon that's gonna ensure a proper seal and a better heat resistance after the head gets to extreme temperatures. Talking about the head, let's go back to the Carvera Air and start working on an aluminum head. On the 2-stroke engines, the head is really simple, having no valves or other complicated components. The only thing is to have two threaded holes for the spark plugs. The next parts we're gonna talk about are the pistons. I'm running the hybrid piston I developed for my single-cylinder 4-stroke engine, running an aluminum crown, an heat shield made out of mica, a material that has an extremely high heat resistance, and lastly the skirt that's made out of carbon fiber reinforced nylon. Now, for the next step, Creality actually stepped in and sent me one of their new machines, a laser cutter and engraver called the Creality Falcon A1 Pro, which I'm gonna use to cut all the gaskets needed for this engine. If you also need custom gaskets or any sort of laser cutting or engraving, I would definitely recommend the Falcon A1 Pro. Make sure to click the link in the video description. So after I cut all my gaskets, all that was left was to actually put everything together. When it comes to the fueling system, I'm gonna be using these two PZ19 carbs. And for the ignition, I'm gonna use two of these Dacia 1310 coil packs. Now let's give the engine a couple of spins to see how it behaves. Well, we got a bit of a problem. The engine now has so much compression, my drill is not able to turn it properly. So I thought maybe it's time to buy an external starter. Like this one, for example. So anyways, I designed my own external starter with a 14:1 ratio that's gonna be powered by this starter motor from an old ATV. And this is the end result. Now let's actually put it to the test and see if it's strong enough to turn the engine. Well, it was strong enough to turn the engine, but also strong enough to break one of the parts. So I'm gonna have to reprint the main shaft on the horizontal orientation to make it stronger. So let's try it one more time. Well, changing the printing orientation of both the gear and the shaft was a bad idea. As you can tell, the gear got completely destroyed, so I printed each part individually on the best orientation for each part. So let's do one more test. Because I'm only testing the starter, the engine has no fuel or spark. Okay, so now that we have a reliable external starter, it's time to print the rest of the parts needed to actually try to start the engine. First off, we have the expansion chamber for the exhaust and the main pipes printed out of carbon fiber reinforced nylon. And for all the exhaust components to fit, I had to cut the studs shorter. And this is what we ended up with. Now I've got the fuel connected and the spark, so let's try to start this bad boy. So as you can tell, we have zero signs of life. And my number one concern are the carburetors. These are PZ19 carbs for 4-stroke engines. So I bought two new 2-stroke carbs. And I also designed and printed the new intake pipe that's gonna fit this new carburetor. So let's give the engine another spin with the new carbs. Once again, unfortunately, no signs of life, so I decided to try using starter fluid. Well, now we definitely had at least one combustion event, so let's keep trying. And a couple more combustion events, let's try again. We are getting there, but it's still not enough for the engine to idle. Now there we go, guys. An inline 2-stroke engine. Unfortunately, the engine wasn't able to actually idle. I still have a lot of troubles when it comes to 2-stroke engines. I didn't quite find yet that sauce, but I will find it. I'm not giving up on this engine. I will try again. If you want to see a 3D printed inline 2 engine that actually ran, make sure you check out my inline 2 4-stroke engine. Big thank you to PCBWay for sponsoring this video. Thank you for watching, guys, and see you in the next one.